You know, extreme meadow cross, like any extreme sport, is always something that you have to be very, very careful participating in, because you know, you never know when you're putting your body through extremes and getting into extreme situations where you know, severe injury can occur. You always have to have, you know, a lot of extra caution. Safety equipment is very important.
The weather is horrible most of the time. It's not sunny like this. It's usually cold, except when it's in the summertime. But
that's why it really becomes an endurance race more than anything else.
You are going to be shocked at the intensity of these events.
I just wanted to be the first kid on my block to get a first place. So, what do I think about extreme meadow cross? Well, there's a lot to it. I mean, when you think of competition, you know, like it's like a war. You know, like what you think of a war, what you think of competition is in motorcycles. That's what it is. It's that kind of deal.
It's frightening, if anything. So, you know, it really tests your ability, especially in braking, because you slide everywhere. And
yeah, I mean, it's something that you always have to be thinking about you know, putting it down, you know, breaking a bone. You know, people go to the hospital all the time out here. You know, but the important thing is, you know, run it at as high speed as you can, get off the ground as you can. That's the point, to leave the air, you know, well, leave the ground. Sometimes you leave the air, but, you know, that's a different kind of a thing. But definitely, just be careful out there. It's an important thing to remember.
The unpredictable and challenging terrain is something that needs to be overcome, and you just never know what lurks beneath.
You can't just select it, some of them I guess you can turn off the GPS stuff to the picture.
You know, an extreme meadow cross attracts only the most hardcore, you know, enthusiasts out there in the motorcycle riding, you know, fields. You know, with dirt bike, you know, you have ex motocross, all different kinds of guys there. You've got people just coming into it, and they want to, you know, I think it's too extreme as a first, you know, step. But you have all kinds out there. But usually, you know, the most hardcore are attracted to something that's this dangerous, and this is a wild sport. This is something that you know, it's definitely not a tame sport.
Almost lives. 17 more kicks, you got it.
Yeah, other than that, you know, we have to maintain our machines. You know, we have to put a lot of effort into that. It's something that goes along with the territory.
You know, and the bikes that we use are running at such a specific mixture, a different mixture than what you usually have in these machines, and they're running at a higher RPM, and it's extremely, you know, produces such a greater horsepower, you know, the torque that you can get out of these in these situations. I mean, you can do all kinds of things. You got guys that are out there, you know, it's really severe stuff.
jumps are extreme. Just don't hit them too goddamn fast, because if you do, you are completely screwed.
Yeah, you know, when you leave the ground, you know, it's just an exhilarating rush that just, the distance we get is incredible.
You gotta be able to brake, and if you don't brake quickly enough, you are in the river. That's why some folks wear life jackets, because if you don't brake quick enough, you are in the river and you're swimming. Oh, you gotta be careful out there.
But then you want to turn it back on.
Consider all parts of extreme Meadow Cross. It really does help to kind of zero in and let everything else sort of melt away. And again, it's back to that like introspective perspective. Can you quote that? What is it about extreme Meadow Cross that's the draw? Well, it's the level of competition, the level of challenge, the constant danger I'm put in on a motorcycle in that kind of a competition-oriented system of events.
It's hard to even explain the level of danger, and that, you know, people are out there pushing themselves beyond the limits that they've really ever pushed themselves before. And some guys, you know, really like to push that envelope. They like to push that envelope as far as they can, you know, ride that edge until they fall off. One of the things that goes hand in hand with extreme Meadow Cross is the you know, keeping yourself sustained, and you know, you develop a pretty big thirst out there with the rigors involved in this kind of activity, and so you got to keep yourself well hydrated, because, you know, without that hydration, you get a lack of bodily fluids, and you can definitely, the dehydration can take place. You got to keep that up. You know, you don't want to get dried out there on your machine and start to, you know, get that weakness can set in, and you can come right off the bike, and that's a bad scene right there.
You might roll the throttle on a little bit. It might be a little bit flooded. So just a little ways and kick it. Almost tried.
Yeah, if you can start your bike on the, you know, 4th, 5th try, you're doing really good, because, you know, these bikes are very, very they're easy to start, but it takes you know, it does take a certain pizzazz, a certain whip to get it going.
Almost. What else? I mean, does, you know, some people are saying, you know, the Europeans have it better than we do, and I mean, does America belong in extreme Meadow Cross? And well, I can't answer. I mean, I belong in extreme Meadow Cross, but I can't answer that. But
I mean, who really knows what's in a man's mind?
It's risky. You don't want to do it unless you know that there is risk involved. Don't do it unless you know what the risks are. Because if you just go into it and then you wipe out or something, and if you drown in your own shit, then you may not come back. And we want you to come back. We do. We want you to come back. Don't mess things up. Just don't do it. Just be careful when you be careful. Okay? Don't mess up. But do it anyway. Do it. Try it at least once, but don't mess it up so badly that you don't ever come back.